Scarce and COVID-19 has laid painfully bare the impact that sudden loss of income can have on our families and our well-being.
Yet there are things we should learn from the COVID crisis to prepare ourselves financially for any further future disaster and to help minimise the damage from the current situation.
Here to tell us more is Helen Baker from On Your Own 2 Feet, and she's joining us live now. Hello, Helen.
Morning, how are you?
Very well, thanks for joining us. Now, this has been an interesting time for Australians and globally as well. One of the things that we've been hearing a lot about is the option to dip into your superannuation early. But what is the real cost of doing that, do you think?
Yeah, a couple of big costs. So obviously the one of $10,000 coming out, what does that mean over the long term? And I think it equates to around about $200,000 over the 30-year mark if you don't put it back in. But the bigger cost that people don't often realise, it's unlikely that they have $10,000 sitting in the cash component of their superannuation. So they're having to sell down some of these investments. And if you think that some of those growth investments have fallen by half, you're getting a double whammy. You're selling maybe $15,000 worth of your super actually to get the $10,000 out. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. You know, interestingly enough, you say that most people should have 3 budgets. Can you tell us a little bit more about why people should have 3 budgets?
Right. So when I talk to clients, I talk about having a spending and an investment plan, but people are familiar with the term budget. But if you think super alone won't be enough, so we know we need to spend and get groceries, put petrol in the car, and then over here we need to be investing. But at times like this, we probably need 3. So it's the real basic one, depending on where you're at. It's the absolutely just let's scrape by, let's get rid of all the things that were nice to have and just get by. The second one is for those people who are probably working, but they can't do as much as they used to given the changes that have happened. So you could have a nice to have. Not that waxing was ever nice, but you know, those things are over.
Amen.
Amen, sister.
And then you've got the third one, which is, you know, the living the dream. It's back to when we can go travelling overseas, where we do all those interactions with family, all those kind of things. So you probably can look at 3. And depending on what your employment situation is, what your financial situation was like before, is adapting, knowing, okay, this one's tough, but it's only short term, right? And then over the time, you can adjust back and get back to living again.
It's actually funny that you mentioned things like beauty appointments, because I think COVID-19 for a lot of people, it forced us to not worry about that stuff or find other ways of doing it. And when it first happened, I remember going to Chemist Warehouse and everyone was down the aisle of eyebrow tinting, the tanning, the waxing strips or whatever. But you actually can do it all, you know, at a fraction of the cost. So it is interesting. Look, what ways should we be looking at protecting our investments, Helen?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is diversification. We talk to our clients about that a lot. So you might have people who just invest in the 10 blue chip shares, for example, and our portfolios for our clients didn't fall very much at all because of the way we structured them. But I would say to the clients who were obviously concerned, as anybody was, you know, how many investments do you think you have? And they went, oh, I don't know, 50, 100. And I said, well, in our portfolios, you have about 8,800 investments. And they're like, wow. So you can imagine if this one over here goes bust, your whole portfolio is not smashed. It's not as volatile as somebody who's got such a concentrated portfolio. So to me, it's about diversification. It's not about shooting the lights out. It's about having a nice measured long-term approach that has some structure to it.
What would you say is a non-financial investment?
Yes. So if I look at my own self, I'm probably on my 3rd career, and I was listening to a demographer who said that the younger generation coming through will have probably 17 employers and 5 careers, because there's whole new types of jobs that you can do that were never there, certainly when I was going through university, and that's going to continue to happen. So I think investing in yourself, whilst it has that issue of if you transfer a career, you probably have to go down a little bit before you start going up the ladder. But we have opportunities for people to start their own businesses that we probably never had such an opportunity as we do right now with the online opportunities. So there's lots of opportunities to invest outside and also just to enjoy your day, right? It's a pretty long day at the office if you really don't love what you do. So
Well,
Yeah.
we love what we do, and it's clear to us that you love what you do as well, which is fantastic.
I
think,
do.
and you know what? It's always good to do what you're passionate about. It's been fantastic to talk to you this morning. Hopefully, we'll get you back on and we'll learn some more. Clearly, Alana and I need some help when it comes to budgets.
Yes.
Between the two of us, we have two budgets that are not really working, so maybe we'll come up with a third.
Yeah. Where can people find out more about you, Helen, if they want some more advice, aka?
Yeah. Yeah, love to. So just jump on yourown2feet.com.au and there's plenty there. Help yourself.